Welcome to the first. You have a story. If you look back on your life, you've done things for the first time that no one in your family, in your town, in the country has done. This is Dr. Sandi. You have unknowingly paved the way for others without knowing it or even acknowledging it. This is where you tell your story so that those who come after you can walk in your footsteps to build their own firsts. Hey everybody, it's Dr. Sandi. Thanks for kicking off 2023 with me. Today I'm going to walk you through creating a vision board for your life. I started on this journey several years ago, I would say about 15 years ago, when I started to help my family to create vision boards, and my friends quickly jumped in. I thought vision boards were one of those frou-frou things people do to keep busy, or sometimes we do it to meet the goal of having a goal, right? So I started my circle of friends to teach them how to vision board, my colleagues, my employees, because you can do a vision board for your business as well. I quickly changed my mind about that after not only creating the vision board, but competing with myself to meet all the goals that you write down. The work you put into strategizing your goals is even more important than just doing the board. If you'd like to create your vision board, reach out to me at sandy@sandiwebster.com, or my information is here on the screen. You can book a time on my Calendly. Thank you, and let's create a vision board. Hey everybody, today I'm going to be talking about creating 10 easy steps for your vision board. It's the beginning of the year, 2023, and we want to have our vision board at the beginning of the year so that we can execute it through the rest of the year. In 2015, I created a vision board for 2016. I had pictures of a salad because I wanted to continue eating healthy. There was a picture that said, "The voice in your head that says you can't do this is a liar." I was talking about going back to school. At that time, I was going back for my doctorate, and everyone kept telling me that this was a difficult thing to do. I'm taking on too much, and I really was busy running a successful business. But it was something that I wanted to do for my business. I also had Rosie the Riveter picture saying, "I can do it." Because if I didn't believe I could do it, I don't see why anyone else would believe that I could do it, right? And I had people exercising because I knew I wanted to get more exercise. If I had to get everything done, I had to be healthy. So we could craft a results vision board, don't you think? Because at the end of 2016, you want to know what your results are. Not only did I go back to school in 2016 and started my doctorate, I sold my company without planning to, and worked for those people that I sold my company for another 2 years in and out, right? I had lost 7 pounds. As if you're looking at this on video, you will see that I'm showing a picture of my vision board at that time. I had lost 7 pounds because I went to the Biggest Loser camp and I hired a personal trainer who came to my house after that, right? And I'm short, so every pound looks like about 10 pounds on my body, especially on a screen. And everyone was asking me if I was crazy because I was overdoing it. And I think there's a difference between extending myself and pushing myself versus going too far and overdoing it. So in 2016, I think a lot of people were worried that I was just overdoing things at that time. In 2019, I created my vision board for 2020. I remember I had a really nasty cold at the end of 2019. No doctor could tell me what was wrong with me. I had gone to India and I came back with this cold, and all my doctors were saying, I don't know what this thing is because it must be a different strain of the flu. Nah. But on my vision board that I created around December of 2019, I had all the things I wanted to do for 2020. And one was creating a new service called Advisory Board on Call for my business. I had started my business and this was a new thing that I wanted to do. So I thought I could get that done in 2020. I also had, if you're looking at this, it's easier as a visual. But I decided I was going to start writing my book, my second book with my business partner, Peggy, and it would be a New York Times bestseller. So if you can picture that I have a stack of books and one of them had my name on it and it said New York Times bestseller. So I knew I was just going to write that book and get on the New York Times bestseller list. I also had other things like investing. I wanted to start investing in commercial properties. So I had a picture of a big commercial building on there. And I wanted to continue traveling. I love traveling. So on my vision board at that time, I had going to China, going to Israel, going to Kenya, Egypt, and Thailand. These are places I had never gone to. And I wanted to continue that in 2020. And last but not least, I always have trying to learn more about the Bible. I've been trying to study the Bible for the longest time, and I continue. It's an ongoing journey. So I had a picture of the Bible on my vision board as well. So what happened, if I'm looking at results, what happened in 2020? Of course, there's a little thing called COVID that happened in 2020 that completely wiped out all of my plans. Well, almost all of them. Some of them I was able to switch and still implement, because one of the things I had on my vision board was to take action. And that meant I was going to take action at all costs, right? I got tested for COVID and I was negative, because I was having all these headaches all the way from November and no one could tell me what was wrong with me. My antibody counts were high, which means I might have been exposed to it, but that really bothered me, that it threw off everything. I couldn't travel to China. I couldn't COVID started there. And I couldn't travel to Israel or any of the other places because we were in total lockdown. So I want you to know that just because you have a vision board and you have things you want to do, other things might get in your way of executing that vision. Also, I used to use foam board in all the previous years that I was doing my vision board. And a foam board is just a big piece of cardboard that you get and you paste pictures on it, right? And you can decorate it with rhinestones and all these other fancy things. But in 2021, after I realized in 2020 that COVID was going to stamp out all my stuff, I didn't feel comfortable going into a store to buy foam boards. Could have ordered them, but I also discovered Canva, which changed my life. Canva is an online tool that has pictures, it has templates of everything you want to do, and it actually has templates of your vision board in there, different templates that you could easily use and just populate with pictures, either pictures from Canva, or you can cut pictures out from the internet, using your snip feature on your computer and paste that into Canva. And so I started using Canva in the end of 2020 for my 2021 vision board. The other thing that I also started to do on my vision board was to split it up into 5 parts. I would put a vertical line down the middle, not the middle, but 3/4 of the page. So I put a vertical line 3/4 of the page. On the right-hand side of my page, I made that my goals. I used to write my goals down right on the vision board and then paste stuff over them. Or if I printed it out, I'd have to put it on the back of the vision board. But now I had the opportunity to just put it right on the board so that I could see it. It's a great reminder. I can look at it every time I walk by and see, oh, it's January, blah, blah, blah. And I didn't get to that yet. And I clearly had a vision of doing things by a certain date, and we'll talk about that. So this is my new vision board that looks like it has an amalgamation of pictures, words, but it also has my goals on it, if you're looking at this. But picture it in your mind, just a foam board with on the right, you have all my goals, and on the left, all the pictures of what I wanted to do. So I'm now a full year into COVID, and I realized there are things I can do and I can't do, but I could still dream. So I still had Egypt on my new vision board for 2021 because I just knew COVID was going to stop in 2021. Again, I had my Bible on there that I wanted to continue studying. I still had my working out, but this time I wanted to still do commercial, but buy more of a family property. And I was talking to two of my family members, two of my siblings, about buying a property for the family. Still be a commercial property, but one that wasn't just managed by myself. I also wanted to launch my course for a vision board, I'm sorry, not vision board, an advisory board. I wanted to launch my advisory board course. The year before, I'd started doing the advisory board, and now I wanted to create an online course because, of course, the year when I planned it, COVID happened and there was nothing open. So I decided to create it online and not stop. Realize I didn't stop doing it. I just changed the course of what I wanted to do. So my 2021 vision board shows a picture of the 4-family house that I wanted to buy. It showed my course that I wanted to have. It also showed that I still wanted to travel in the hopes of, and I had a passport, and I also had a AAA card. AAA is the Automobile of America. If I had needed to go local, I was going to go local and just travel by car, but I still had to get out of my house at some point. I also had that I wanted to start building a house in Virginia. So you see, there's a lot of real estate going on in 2021. My husband and I had previously purchased property in Virginia, and I wanted to start building my house because with COVID, you realize life is fleeting and we don't have as much time as we think we have. So we need to get to making sure we execute on these visions that we have for us. And the last vision board I'm going to show you right now is my 2022 vision board, or rather I should say my last vision board I'm going to talk about is my 2022 vision board. Again, I went to Canva, and this is one of the templates that I used from Canva. The previous one, I didn't use a template, but now it was just quick and easy to populate the template with the things that I have. And on this vision board, still have my health. I still want to do my health. But with this template, I was able to put in a little bit more categories than I normally would have. In this vision board, I had health category, which is eating healthy and exercising and having fun. And I also had a home category. So planting a garden, because now during COVID, gardening was a big deal. So I wanted to continue planting a garden. I wanted to redecorate my home just to make it a little bit more comfortable because I was there now all the time. So people were putting in home offices and working from home. I wanted it to feel a little bit more comfortable. That was my vision for 2022. And just having people over, outside in the backyard because, again, it's COVID time and I wanted to still entertain, but in a more friendlier way, right? I also had work to create less stress in my work. So that was a big thing. And to be more productive, to end my work day knowing that there are things that I wanted to do. I also still had vacation on there because I figured I could drive somewhere and take some time off. Hotels were opening up a little bit more. I could go to a hotel locally and feel that. And I wanted to start my hobbies again, like golfing and going out with Larry and just having some fun, inflecting some fun or infusing some fun into my everyday work day. And the good thing I found about doing all this in Canva is that I can print it. I can either print it through Canva or I could create a PDF file and send it to Staples to have it printed. And it comes out really nice and looks very professionally well done. And I would say I'll continue to use Canva going forward. I also turned 61 in that year, and that was a big deal. 60 was okay, we had a party, but in 61, I really felt like I needed to get things back up and running again and creating some sense of normalcy, and my vision board should reflect that. So we're just getting around to talking about what goes into this vision board. All our goals should be SMART goals. I don't know if you know about SMART goals, but SMART goals is an acronym, and it's SMART. The S is for specific, right? So you're going to be very specific in your goals. The M is for measurable, because your goals, you should be able to measure your goals. A should be attainable. You don't want to set goals that you're not reaching, right? And R is relevant. You should have goals that are relevant to you. And the T, lastly, is time-based, meaning you should have a time frame in which to have these goals. Or something that you can measure, that you can say, I look at my calendar and say, yes, I achieved this. I am giving you an example of what a goal should look like. Lose 12 pounds by December 30th, 2023. So I want to lose 12 pounds by December 30th, 2023. Do you think that fits into the SMART model? Well, let's look at it. Am I specific, which is the S? Yes, I am. I want to lose 12 pounds, not 10 or 15. I want to lose 12 pounds. It's very specific. Is it measurable? Yes. If I get on a scale, I can tell whether I lost 12 pounds or not, or 15 or more, or less, or if I lost nothing. So that is measurable. That fits the M model. Is it attainable? Yes, I think that's very attainable. I didn't say I wanted to lose 100 pounds or 200 pounds. I just want to lose 12 pounds, which should be doable within 1 year. I'm giving myself a time-based model by when I want to do this, and that's in 1 year, December 30th, 2023. So that fits. And it's also relevant. It's relevant to me and it's relevant to my health. So a simple goal like that fits all the models of the SMART goal. Step 2 is to structure your vision board. And when I say structure, I want you to start thinking of the topics that you want to put on your vision board. I like 4 topics. Some people like 1, some people like 3, but think about the topics that are important in your life to structure this board. For me, I usually have a spiritual block, I have travel, I have self, and I have family, right? So if that's the case, if you want to put your goals on the sheet like we talked about, you would divide your board in 5. And when I say 5, you're going to leave that vertical line that we did before where your goals go on the right-hand side. And then that big box on the left-hand side, you divide that up into 4 or 3 or whatever number you have in your goal that you want to pursue for that year. Right, for me, 4 is a nice round number and it's very easy to fit into my boxes. If you want to work on just one goal like fitness, then that entire left side would be for fitness. But you can still have subcategories. You can still have under fitness, you might have something like diet, right? You might have exercise under dieting. You might have self-care would be another 4-quadrant goal that you can have there, right? So here's another example of one of the vision boards, and this is the one that I showed before. And if you're not looking at this vision board has a circle in the middle, which would be you, and then around it in the circle, it has all the different categories. So here it's home, money, work, family, fun, and health. And this one I got straight from Canva, right? So it was very easy for me to do and to use this and just plot this because it fits everything that I needed. You could easily change out the titles that are here to create your own titles. And that makes life much easier for you. If you don't have Canva, then you can recreate this model yourself. In step 3, we're going to start writing down our goals. We're going to write our goals if you're using a foam board on the back of the foam board, or write it down on a sheet of paper that you can attach to the back of the foam board. If you decided to split your foam board in 5, then it's very hard to write on the foam board. So you would have to write it on a piece of paper and then attach it to the right-hand side if you divided your board in 5. And then just paste it in, right? Everything we do here, you paste it in on the foam board, pictures, rhinestones, everything. So the one we're looking at is we're going to start selecting our goals. Narrow it down, don't make it over crazy so that you don't have time to accomplish these goals. Everything you need to do will be very simple. You can write it straight on the foam board, or you can write it on sticky pads, sticky paper that you can move around. It makes it a lot easier to move around on sticky paper. Here I have my spiritual, my travel, my sense, and my family categories. So under spiritual, I started writing, read the Bible every day, go to Bible study, go to church on Sunday, common things. Under self, I have things like launch my course by 1/15/21. I wanted to get a haircut once a month, which is during COVID, I did not even get a haircut. I look like Shaggy DA. And I wanted to start exercising 3 times per week. So see, I'm trying to put time and effort into these goals, and I wanted to try to make them as specific as possible. On the travel side, I still thought I could go to Egypt, and I wanted to learn about the Galapagos Islands on video. I figured if I couldn't get there, I might as well start looking at videos about it and learning about that. And then for family, I wanted 2 of my family members to draft up a will in 2021, because a will is something that people in my family don't do a lot of. And when they pass, it's a problem. So I wanted to start my family members doing that. Again, I mentioned buying real estate with my family members. I wanted to also be vaccinated, right? That's a goal. Could have been under health, but that was under my family. I wanted my family to get vaccinated as well. And then Larry and I planned on moving to Virginia, so we wanted to get that house started and do that in 2022 and for 23, right? So start writing down your goals. And if you have a foam board, you can start looking at pictures, because step 4 is for you to start cutting out pictures either out of magazines that you have. If you have a lovely dot that you want to put on your foam board because you're wishing, you can cut it straight out of the magazine. I find an easier way to do it now is just to Google a yacht and put an image of a yacht so that it's very easy to find what you're looking for. Print it out, snip it, and put it on your vision board. Or better yet, you don't even have to print it out. If you're using Canva, you can just use the little snip tool and move that over to your foam board. Then once you get all of that together, you're going to organize all your images. So put your family pictures on the family, your travel pictures on the family. So now you're starting to get a little bit more cohesive about the organization of your vision board. And then once you have that, you know, step 6 to 10 is really about organizing and gluing. So part of your organization is you can put a border, it's organization / decorating. Put a border around your vision board if you like. You can, again, in Canva or on the foam board, you can use ribbons to put a border there. You can cut out different pieces of paper to make a border. You don't have to, but this is just part of expressing your creativity, right? You can cut out flowers. If you talk about a garden, you can cut out flowers and paste them. So you're going to start organizing. And once that is done, you start gluing them down if you're using your foam board. If it's in Canva, you're just moving it and putting it in place. But make sure you glue them down. You can start then moving to stage 8, which is beautification. You can add words. You can add sketches. You can add rhinestones and glitter to your star, little stars. You can, I always put the year of my foam board. So if it's 2021 that I'm doing, I put 2021. And I also sign my foam board so that my signature is there. And it's a promise to myself when I do that, right? So you can start doing that as well if it's not in person. Now, once you get your foam board, if you printed it out and sent it to Staples to be printed, you can still beautify it when it comes back to you. You can still glue rhinestones to it. You can still put little ribbon on it or little cutout things to give it that 3-dimensional kind of feel. And you can put that, you know, little strings to hang them on the wall because the foam board doesn't come with that. But you can hang it. You can put little glue things on the back that you can stick it to the wall. And just generally prettying it up and making it look nice. So it's something you want to look at every day because you will be looking at it. Step 9 is to take action, right? It's to really take action in doing the things that you say you're going to do on your vision board. You can start to take little baby steps at a time or blowing out your goal sheet by putting sub-bullets under them. So tactical things that you're going to do and how you're going to do it and by when you're going to do it so that you get to the goal that you want. Now, place it somewhere that is visible to you so that when you're going through in your day, it's the first thing you see or it's someplace where it's visible. You can do a regular check-in on it to see if you're keeping on track. I like to send it out to friends so that they have it and they can hold me accountable to being on track with my foam board. That's a big part of it. It just makes sense to create this wonderful, beautiful thing, and then you do nothing at all to make it come to life, right? And there are different kinds of foam boards. Some people, based on how you think, only do words. They just have words like change your life. You know, this one says change your weight, change your life. They'll put love and laughter. They'll put think because they want to do more of that. They want to do things differently, so they might put that. Somebody had legal on their board. I guess they were illegal. So, you know, that's a goal, to be legal, right? Church. Just the word alone tells you you want to do more of church. And you can have little positivity words like go get them, things like that that you could put on. Some people feel better about words than pictures. But I think by far, most of the vision boards that I've seen have a mix of words and pictures. So you use the words to emphasize or to say what it is. Somebody had talking marriage. They didn't need any words for that. While some people had a picture of a bride and groom, somebody just had talking marriage. A very different connotation. Some people are mixing up. If they show a dish of vegetables, they might put diet in the words above them. So I think that's the most vision boards use a mix. You could also put a texture on the back of your vision board before you even started. You can cut out, Christmas sheets. You can cut out gift wrapping paper to put over your vision board just to create a really nice texturized background. You can put lace. I've seen people put lace over or silk over their vision board, or a nice velvet, just so that the appearance is much nicer and softer to look at. Or you can have stripes and big prints, big bold prints, and then make the words more outstanding on your vision board. But it's yours to do, whatever you want to do with it, right? So however it makes sense. Some people actually take paint and paint around it and add other kind of texturization to it. But yes, it is your vision board and you can do what you like. I hope you send it to me so that I can see what happens with your vision board. And I can also hold you accountable to make sure that your vision board happens for you. So thank you for sharing this time with me today on vision boarding. I really appreciate it. I hope you create a vision board and this will give you a little bit more sense of purpose for 2023. Knowing what you're doing, just knowing what you're doing going into 2023 will have a big impact on your life for 2023. And again, put it someplace really nice that you'll walk by. I have mine in my living room. Everyone who comes in can see it, and everyone feels free to hold me accountable all the time about my vision board. Okay, so happy trails. I hope you have a wonderful 2023, and I will check back with you the end of the year to see if we made that happen. This is Dr. Sandi. Thank you so much for sharing your journey on the first, where no two stories are alike, even if the circumstances are similar. Let this discussion serve as inspiration for others to show what's possible, and more importantly, to produce seconds and thirds.